colleagues, it has been such a profound privilege to serve this 11-member body and the 1.1 million residents of Montgomery County. With an unexpected virtual start to my council presidency a year ago and a number of unanticipated challenges that arose throughout the year, this 20th Montgomery County Council proved that we are greater than the sum of our individual parts. We demonstrated how much we can accomplish when we work together to advance shared priorities toward the common good. There is no one on this dais I counted on more this past year than Kate Stewart, our council vice president, my trusted partner, and someone I am very proud to call a dear friend. I've leaned on her from the very first day when she stepped in to preside over our first meeting while I was isolating at home with COVID. She rose to every challenge, she stepped up to every difficult task, and exceeded even my highest expectations for the year that we would be able to serve together. Council Vice President Stewart demonstrated her commitment to her district's safety and well-being with her late-night establishments bill and led efforts to fund the MoCo Pride Center. And Councilmember Balcom continued to be a fierce advocate for the Up County, securing funding for several critical capital projects, including the Clarksburg Library and the Western County Recreation Center. Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez championed a bill to provide disabled veterans a much-needed property tax relief and navigated collaboratively with Up County council members to allow overnight stays in the county's agricultural reserve. Councilmember Albornoz played a pivotal role in the new world-class Silver Spring Recreation and Aquatic Center and in launching the MC Groceries program to address food insecurity in our community. Councilmember Katz championed the extension and expansion of the Drone as First Responder program and played an integral role in standing up the first Under the Lights event to increase youth access to high-quality fields. Councilmember Jawando championed record funding for Montgomery County Public Schools and led the Education and Culture Committee through more in-depth reviews into the MCPS budget outside of our compressed budget cycle. Councilmember Lukey worked with community leaders in our planning department to bring the Placemaking Festival to Main Street Damascus and help envision what a future walkable, bikeable, and enlivened Main Street could be. Councilmember Mink advocated for her East County schools like Burtonsville Elementary and also championed increased funding for our public schools. Councilmember Sales promoted equity and opportunity with her Ban the Box legislation and uplifted historically marginalized communities with the extension of the Minority, Female, and Disabled Business Program. And lastly, Councilmember Glass worked with colleagues on the Economic Development Committee to expand our Make Office Vacancy Exist MOVE program and has overseen an exhaustive review of the Building Energy Performance Standards at the Transportation and Environment Committee. Colleagues, each of you has accomplished a great deal this year, and the residents of Montgomery County are so much better off for your dedicated service. And even more than the incredible work each of you has done on your own, I am so proud of how we've come together to fulfill the commitments we made on our shared priorities while holding the line on taxes. As we approved the county's $7.1 billion budget in May, the council funded our public schools at a record $3.3 billion, including the difficult choices we made to add more than $26 million above the county executive's recommended levels. As we added funding to address growing needs with finite resources, we also included transparency and accountability metrics for the first time ever and increased MCPS oversight because our students, educators, families, and taxpayers deserve nothing less. Collectively, this council continued our efforts to address our housing supply and affordability challenges with $168 million in funding for a housing initiative fund, establishing an innovative new $50 million nonprofit preservation fund, and with the joint leadership of Council Vice President Stewart, facilitating affordable, inclusive housing opportunities with our community faith partners. With the dedicated funding made possible by the passage of the Green Buildings Now Act, we also committed $19 million to the Montgomery County Green Bank to help our residents and businesses navigate their way towards a more sustainable future. And because there is no greater responsibility than keeping our community safe, we leveraged new technology to assist our police and provided additional resources for our houses of worship and nonprofits so residents can freely and securely live, learn, and worship in our county. None of these resources would be possible without a thriving private sector economy, which is why I'm so proud of how we fulfilled our commitment to enact bold economic development action, including the $20 million new jobs initiative, demonstrating the urgency needed to compete and win regionally and globally. We started the year with a shared dedication to embrace our oversight role like never before, with a formal process now underway for base budget reviews, beginning with MCPS, with the help of Director Chris Conklin and the OLO team, following through on making our county's motto, to guard well, our governing doctrine. And we made transparency and accountability our guiding principles with unprecedented levels of community engagement. We set out to be intentional and inclusive in our work and to combat hate and bias in all its forms. Under the capable guidance of Selena Singleton, we implemented key recommendations of the Anti-Hate Task Force with cultural competency, anti-hate and anti-bias trainings, as well as a formal update and adoption of our Council Racial Equity and Social Justice Commitment Statement. We recognize that we only serve as momentary caretakers of this storied institution and that we stand on the broad shoulders of those who came before us. That's why I'm proud to have worked with the county executive and all of our council colleagues to rename the Executive Office Building after three-term council president and three-term county executive Ike Leggett, whose 28 years in county leadership exemplifies public service at its finest and what government at its best can and should be. The council presidency is a humbling honor that comes with a myriad of additional responsibilities that I could not possibly carry out without the day-to-day assistance of our remarkable council staff, whose contributions keep this institution moving forward, help keep our community engaged, and play an instrumental role in our legislative and budget reviews. First and foremost, I want to thank our executive director, Craig Howard, who has proven himself time and time again to be the glue that holds this organization together, always ready to answer a question, to offer advice, or to solve a problem with his unflappable demeanor. Thanks also to Sonia Healy, leader of our extraordinary Emmy Award-winning PIO team, who always has the best interests of this body at the forefront, offering steadfast, valuable guidance to us throughout the year. And I want to recognize Sarah Tannenbaum, who masterfully maintains our agendas, keeps us organized and on track, and provides invaluable support for all our council functions. To the PHP team, you have done Herculean work this year, and we are grateful for your continued dedication to ensure our land use policies and master plans are carefully crafted to reflect our priorities. There are so many committed members of this institution who make our work possible. Our analysts, our attorneys led by Christine Wellens, and our administrative support team led by Sandra Marin. I wish I had enough time to acknowledge each and every one of you, but please know just how much you and your public service are appreciated by all of us. To my outstanding office team, my Chief of Staff, Cindy Gibson, Matt Higgins, Angela Gear, Andrew Resnick, and Warren Hansen, you all stepped up in countless ways to meet the relentless demands and added responsibilities of the council presidency. Thank you for being consummate professionals and true public servants. Finally, nothing that I've done or can do is possible without my family. Everything in my life starts with my wife, Demi, who I'm pretty certain had no idea what she was getting into when she agreed to marry me. She has been my rock and my reason, the person who brightens my days and lightens my load. I have no idea how I would have managed this year without you. To the other woman who shares my heart and has always been the compass guiding me throughout my life, my incomparable mom, Leslie Friedson, you have continued to show me the path forward with your remarkable strength and your resilience. To my dad, John Friedson, who I expected to be here today watching from the audience. It's his values and legacy I carry with me as I continue to work in his memory. For me, for my family, and for our team, this year was rife with unforeseen personal challenges, including devastating losses, sick and struggling family members, health battles, and medical emergencies. Throughout it all, our team persisted with tremendous personal sacrifice and carried out the important work for the residents of Montgomery County. I am so grateful for your fidelity to the service of our community through every single twist and turn. It has truly been the privilege of my professional life to serve this extraordinary community as council president with such an exceptional group of public servants. Despite the obstacles before us, I have no doubt in our capacity as a county to overcome them if we continue to live by our values and bring out the best in one another. Montgomery County can and must be a beacon of light and hope at a time when it is needed more than ever. I look forward to continuing the work together to be a county government as strong as the county we're privileged to serve. Thank you, colleagues. And with that, I wanted to turn to our PIO team who has a video presentation.
2024 was a year of bold new thinking, exciting opportunities, and transformation in Montgomery County. Council President Andrew Friedson began his council presidency with a promise that transparency and accountability would be at the heart of all the council's decisions. Under Council President Friedson's leadership, the council unanimously approved his $20 million New Jobs Initiative, the largest economic development package of its kind in county history, which aims to create high-paying jobs, promote innovation, and support underrepresented entrepreneurs and under-resourced communities.
If you are willing to invest in Montgomery County, in our community, that Montgomery County is willing to invest in you.
Significant strides were made to double down on Montgomery County's global leadership in health sciences.
To create such opportunity and such potential to not only change the lives of residents in Montgomery County, but to literally change the world.
This year, the council made strides in promoting more housing and affordable living near transit hubs. Council President Friedson led efforts to establish a new $50 million nonprofit preservation fund and worked with colleagues to pass legislation allowing houses of worship to build affordable housing on their land and eliminate parking requirements for new housing near transit.
If we are going to solve these challenges, particularly the housing challenge, we have to make it easier to build housing.
And the county broke ground on major developments like the Hillendale Gateway Project and Strathmore Square, made possible by Council President Friedson's previous legislative achievements.
The topic at hand tonight is a serious one, the housing challenges that we face.
Friedson encouraged robust community conversations about proposed housing and zoning reforms and oversaw unprecedented public engagement that included hundreds of residents at meetings across the county and online.
That is unanimous. Okay, we have a budget.
During the busy budget season, the council passed a $7.1 billion budget and funded our public schools at a record-breaking $3.3 billion. And for the first time ever, the council included transparency and accountability metrics in the budget to ensure every dollar went to its best and highest use.
We're continuing to strengthen public safety with major investments in our police department, fire rescue service, and first responders, including providing ongoing funding to continue the highly successful Drones First Responder program in Silver Spring and Wheaton, and expand it to the Up County and Bethesda.
Additionally, with unparalleled levels of community outreach, the council heard from a greater breadth and diversity of voices during the budget, with a record-breaking number of residents testifying. In addition to welcoming hundreds of new and expanding businesses to the county this year, Friedson was active at various community events with the county's nonprofits and houses of worship.
We can ensure that no one ever again passes by that small white church and doesn't know what it means to honor the last 100 years, the remarkably resilient Scotland community who withstood every single obstacle thrown in their way. Here's to the second century for Scotland.
Council President Friedson embraced new ideas and forged consensus to move the county forward. He ably led the council throughout 2024, while fostering a culture of collaboration focused on meeting the needs of today and planning Montgomery County's future.
Thank you to our PIO team for an outstanding job with just an amazing video for all the work that this body has done over the past year. With that, let me turn it over to Council Vice President Stewart.
Thank you, Council President Friedson. On behalf of the County Council, I want to present you with a small gift, an appreciation of the leadership that you have shown this year, the steadiness in which you have guided this body through challenges, both personal and professional. We thank you for all that you have done, and in particular, your fidelity to this body. And you said before that we are here momentarily, but your leadership and what you have done this year will give us a good foundation to meet the challenges ahead and are here lasting for our residents and this body. I want to thank you personally for the partnership this year and the friendship, and I look forward to continuing to serve with you.